Good afternoon. Good afternoon, I'm Jurnee Taylor. We begin with breaking news. Mills High School and middle school are on lockdown this afternoon after the Pulaski County Special School District receives 2 threatening phone calls. Now, this is a live look at the schools right now. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office is on the scene. Officials have confirmed students and staff are safe, but they're asking people to stay away from the campus at this time. Now, we've also learned that both calls were threats of a shooting. We have a crew there and are in contact with both the district and law enforcement. Stay with THV 11 and THV11.com as we wait for new information. And again, I just want to reiterate that staff and students are safe at this time. Now, we definitely will keep you updated. We will also like to give you an update on the severe weather moving in. Meteorologist Nathan Scott, another beautiful day, but for how long?
Good afternoon, Jurnee. It's transition day for the most part because we're going from the nice weather into ugly weather, closing out the work week on Friday. Out there right now, it's not too bad. We've got some clouds moving in from the west. Temperatures, though, heating up into the mid to upper 60s already. It's 71 in Pine Bluff. And as the day progresses along, those numbers will climb up into the 70s for most spots with increasing clouds. And then even as early as this evening, we'll be watching some showers, maybe a few storms try to make their way into locations just to the west of the metro. But you notice a few spotty showers around 7 o'clock, pretty close to Little Rock, Russellville, and also Conway. But look what happens tomorrow. Showers and storms develop across the region, and those storms will likely pack a punch. Here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. It's got a bullseye, a 4 out of 5 for northeast Arkansas, and it's getting pretty close to parts of central Arkansas. I'll let you know the timing of the storms and what these storms could produce, and when it all moves out, coming up.
Tragedy hit in Kentucky last night. The U.S. Army reports a helicopter accident that cost 9 soldiers their lives. Skylar Henry has more on the team of safety inspectors headed to the scene to better pinpoint what went wrong.
It looks like some sort of an escort. We do have an ambulance.
A long line of emergency vehicles lined the road not far from the crash site in southwestern Kentucky. The Army says 2 HH-60 Black Hawk helicopters collided in midair during a routine training exercise, killing 9 soldiers.
This is a truly tragic loss for our families, our division, and Fort Campbell. And our #1 priority is caring for the families and the soldiers within our Combat Aviation Brigade.
The accident occurred in the city of Cadiz, about 30 miles northwest of Fort Campbell. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear expressed his condolences.
The 9 individuals we lost are children of God. They will be mourned and missed by their families, by their communities.
The U.S. Army has used Black Hawk helicopters since the mid-1970s for military transport, assault missions, and evacuations.
These specific aircraft were medical evacuation aircraft. However, we believe that they were the accident occurred when they were doing flying, not deliberate medical evacuation drills.
Last month, 2 National Guard members were killed when their Black Hawk went down along an Alabama highway. The cause of that crash and last night's tragedy are both under investigation. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
A statement from Fort Campbell says the 2 Black Hawk helicopters were part of the 101st Airborne Division. Now, there are no reports of civilian casualties. Well, now an update to a story we've been following for months. Relieving news for the family of Tanvi Murapalli as she is found safe in Florida and is on her way back home to Conway. 15-year-old Tanvi Murapalli has been missing for 2 months after camera footage showed her walking away from Conway Junior High, back in January. Tanvi's name and face gained national attention, and that was the saving grace, as Conway police say. Her rescue is all because of a single tip. Police discovered she was in Florida after someone sent a tip in to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The center then passed it on to the authorities in Florida, and Conway police are now headed to Florida to reunite Tanvi with her family.
In reality, all it takes is one set of eyes to be a hero, and that citizen is it for us today. They recognized a situation. They may have recognized the child, They took a quick picture and sent it to our call center. Our call center then worked to get it through the appropriate channels into law enforcement's hands.
No word yet on when exactly Tommy will be back in Arkansas, but police tell us they will release more information sometime today at a press conference. We are 2 days away from a critical change to Medicaid benefits that could impact thousands of Arkansans. The state will begin checking people enrolled in Medicaid to determine if they're still eligible. Now, according to DHS, a little more than 1.1 million Arkansans are currently enrolled in Medicaid, and during the pandemic, 400,000 had their benefits extended. Now, during that same time, the federal government stopped allowing states to kick people off of Medicaid, but that all changes in 2 days. That's April 1st. Gavin Lesnick with DHS says a letter began going out to recipients in February and will continue going out for the next few months. But he says for those who still meet the requirements, their coverage will continue.
There will be some folks who have had a change in their income, have had a change in their circumstances, and no longer qualify for Medicaid. So part of this process will be moving them off Medicaid and finding other places for them to get health care coverage, whether that's an employer-sponsored plan or a plan through the federal marketplace.
Now, at this point, you may be asking why the big change and why are states checking eligibility for the first time in 3 years? Again, the federal government wouldn't let states kick anyone off the program during a public health emergency. So ultimately, states stopped checking eligibility. Now, if you need to verify your eligibility, you're asked to call DHS or go to your local DHS office. Hundreds coming together in Nashville for a vigil honoring the 3 students and 3 school workers who were killed Monday in a school shooting. City leaders, victims' families, and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden gathering Wednesday to mourn the 6 lives lost. The police chief also stepping up to the mic talking about the pain while recognizing the officers who ran toward the gunfire to stop the shooter.
Our police officers have cried and are crying with Nashville and the world. We are grateful to the team of officers who rushed into that school building without hesitation.
Just before the vigil, Dr. Biden visited the memorial outside the Covenant School, pausing at each victim's photo before leaving flowers. City Council member Russ Pulley represents Covenant's district. He says staff members died trying to protect the kids.
Catherine Kuntz heard the shots, ended the Zoom call immediately, and abruptly left that meeting and left her office.
Police officers found Kuntz's body just outside of her office. Well, happening today, the Arkansas House Judiciary Committee will debate a bill for universal background checks on gun purchases and transfers. The bill aims to address a loophole that lets people with violent history to buy guns from unlicensed sellers. It does have a clause for reasonable exceptions, like transfers to immediate family members and transfers for hunting or self-defense. Now, both of the bill's sponsors are Democrats, so they'll need to get support from Republicans as they hold the majority in both the House and Senate. In world news, Pope Francis is receiving treatment for a respiratory infection at a hospital in Rome. The Vatican says the Pope had trouble breathing in recent days, but noted he does not have COVID-19. Francis's audiences have been canceled through at least Friday. A new version of a so-called bathroom bill is up for a vote today on the Arkansas House floor. Originally, the bill would have made it a crime for an adult to knowingly stay in a bathroom or changing room with minors of their opposite biological sex. Now, lawmakers in the House Judiciary Committee have amended it to be more specific. The person can only be charged if they enter the bathroom with a sexual desire. If the bill passes today in the House, it'll have to go through the Senate one more time for amendment approval. Well, today, the city of Benton and Saline County Judge Matt Brumley are honoring Vietnam veterans. They're holding a ceremony at the Saline County War Memorial. This morning, representatives from the city and county will be placing 592 United States flags around the memorial in remembrance of the 592 Arkansans who lost their lives in Vietnam. 10 special flags will be placed in honor of 10 who were from Saline County. Veterans there will also receive 50th anniversary pins. The ceremony starts tonight at 6 p.m. And it's opening day as all 30 Major League Baseball teams begin their season. The MLB implemented some rule changes this year in hopes of renewing fan interest. That includes a pitch clock to speed up the game and a ban on the infield shift. There is a schedule change as well. Each team will play at least one series against the other 29 teams. Well, 2 words you don't hear every day: brain bank. At 12:17, we'll show you the Denmark facility changing how illnesses like dementia and depression are studied. But before we get into that, Nathan, what are you seeing ahead in weather?
Well, I'm seeing some big changes, Jurnee. We'll have a chance of rain later today in parts of the area, but it's Friday. We have to stay weather aware because we do have the high likelihood we'll see some severe storms out there. I'll let you know who has the best chance when the storms develop and what we can see from those storms coming up.